Hello everyone, my name is Raven, and I'm glad to bring you some Monster Hunter World content here. Now, this is my first Monster Hunter, and I've played a little bit of it to say the least. And with the announcement of Wilds, I kind of was thinking that I need to get a little bit handier with more weapons, and you can just look at my guild card here and you'd say, wow, Raven, why don't you just use Charge Blade and Longsword? Well, I just kind of wanted to test out other weapons because there's so many beautiful weapons to use in this game, so it'd be a shame to only limit myself to like two, right? So I've been thinking, and I kind of landed on a handful of choices, but the one I'm learning right now is the dual blades. And I'm not very good with them, I can tell you that. The build I'll be showing you in this video is not optimized in any way, shape, or form, but it does work if you just know how to do these things, you know how to work around the monsters and everything, and well, the monster we're going to be going after is none other than Fatalis. I know, a little extreme for just learning a weapon, but it ended up going down like this. Today's story. It was a story of perseverance, and let me just say that it was an interesting ride. So we started it with an SOS flare. I got ready, and I went ahead and jumped in. I'm not one of those guys that waits around for people to join. I know we are on a time limit, and I know we need to get business done. So I immediately go in there, and things are business as usual in the fight, at least at the start. You know, you tenderize the head, and then I try my best to, wall bang him with the clutch claw, and it works. Everything's going well. I was thinking, this could go just fine. Now, as I was fighting this guy, we started trading blows. Sure, it was alright, but people started to join after a little bit of the fighting, right? Which is natural, I expected such a thing, but the thing about it is the timing they had, because I got caught at the worst possible time trying to tenderize something, and he hits me. Sure, that's nothing, that's no biggie. Try to get out of there and get a heal off, but he called my bluff here. I tried to get the dive. I got one, but it didn't give me the second one. Fainted before anybody fully joins me. Usually, if nobody had joined me, I would have called off the SOS flare. But since someone was here with me, I kind of felt like I needed to see this through. And, I went ahead and picked myself up, and we went ahead and got back in there as a unit instead of just me, which is more preferred, sure, but, I needed to feel out the weapon and make these mistakes anyway, because that's how you get better with weapons. Thankfully, we were able to punish Fatalis a bit here and there, and actually get some damage on the head, but not without someone leaving the quest. I don't know if they DC'd or what, but it was a shame we lost our hunting horn. It would have been nice to have the extra melodies and buffs here for this, but, I think we were doing just fine for the time being, except whenever I get hit with stuff like that. That one hurt, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, the entire, message behind this story, if you will, is you never give up, and don't be afraid to make those mistakes, but be prepared to learn from them, I would say, because if you never learn from the mistakes that you make, you won't get anywhere. After we get back in there, we were able to do a bit of damage, and we finally got him to second phase. Here we get a little bit of a breather amongst the flames before we go back in. Thankfully, one of my teammates knew that we just needed to pull him out of the sky off of the rip, and let me tell you, we got some good damage here. I think it was because we had a healthy mix of like a hammer guy, longsword, and me on dual blades, It was enough damage to break one horn already. This was awesome to see, especially after he caught me like that. We were able to get so much damage. I knew that if we were able to really get some good hits on this guy, I knew we could do this, but it was a matter of playing it properly and trying not to die at the same time, He did this so many times. This breath attack here, Fatalis did this so many times. Every time we saw this, we were on top of this dude. We knew every single time he did this, we were just inching our way closer and closer to that head break. And that is exactly what we were going for, obviously. We needed that above all else. I mean, when else do people fight Fatalis, you know? Everybody's here for the evil eyes, we all know that. Nobody wants anything else. Maybe other than a fight, but partway through this, we had another death that wasn't me, finally. And I knew it was okay. I wasn't gonna hold it to the person. I died twice up to this point. Like, I have no room to talk even if I wanted to, you know what I mean? But we finally caught Fatalis again in this breath attack, but I got hit. We got a part broken, sure, but I eventually found my way to the spot I needed to be in to actually help. My teammates were a lot more on top of this guy than I was, which I was grateful for, but I needed to kind of pick up my pace too a bit. With all that, though, we were able to get him to this point in time where we were getting supernovaed almost, you know? Like, we finally were able to sit behind this gate and think for a second, like, yeah, we're getting there. We actually are doing something, even though we've died a few times. That didn't matter if we were able to seal this deal. And, you know, it's not always easy, but on the way up here, I decided that we knew we needed him down, right? So one guy started the other phase with binding him. I was going to do the same with this one. It just kind of made sense. Perfect time for damage. I mean, there is no other reason than just getting on the head here and just going to town to do that, obviously, but it's worth it if he's in the air, if he's going to do anything annoying to you. This move, every single time he did this, I was a little afraid, because, you know, we had to kind of step up our game and, you know, actually heal each other here and there, because he started doing real damage here in this phase. It was business time, finally. Every single one of us in this fight knew that we had to just play it better, play it tighter around this phase, because he was just going to hit so hard. We didn't get the full break, so he was going to do a lot of fire damage, but thankfully we started actually healing each other. You know, I was able to heal our longsword guy here. Longsword guy healed me a second ago. Actually playing as a team is what got us through this fight, hands down. There's no other reason, in my opinion. I mean, we just were able to get together and actually hit this guy enough times, essentially, but it was a matter of living rather than dying, of course. But anyway, Fatalis here loves his breath attacks. I didn't even show you all of them, alright? He did so many this fight. We were able to get a lot of free damage and kind of get in, get out, nice hit and run styles, but whenever he started doing the other ones, it was a little bit of close calls all the time, but you know, it didn't stop us from jumping right on into the fight and taking it to him rather than, you know, kind of just lollygagging. But enough time had passed where the Dragonator could be used, and we were at the 10-minute mark. We knew it was time to seal this deal if we were gonna do it, or actually faint and just, you know, lose the quest. If it was gonna happen here, it's gonna happen around this time, you know what I mean? Everybody kind of saw that I was going for the Dragonator. Even Fatalis himself knew what was gonna happen, but, you know, he just couldn't help himself. He had to charge right on into it, and this is needed, much needed damage. We were kind of lacking a little bit until this point, but the head wasn't even tenderized, so I feel like I kind of wasted the amount of damage I could have done here. It didn't matter, though, in the end to me, because if you can tenderize, it's probably for the best anyway. But, you know, it's whatever at that point. It's all a time thing, you know how it is if you play. After all that, he got mad enough where he had to throw fire at us again. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, these moves aren't always the hardest to deal with. It's just about, like, where he goes and where you're at, positioning and the like, of course. But he can be mad all he wants, Fatalis can, but he came down here only for us to kind of, you know, show him who's really boss, I suppose. You know, we kind of make him flinch. Hammer guy is real good on that kind of stuff, and one of my teammates jumped on one of the, what are they, like, ballista? One of the roaming cannons? I don't know. I hardly use them, but I realize their strength, obviously. and we were able to get Fatalis down again and actually wail on his head a little bit more. But we still haven't got that second break, and I was starting to get a little worried that we weren't gonna get it, so I was just fully focused on his horns and his head, doing the best that I could to get this done. And let me tell you, the end of this fight was a little weird to me, very anticlimactic, but you know what? We take those. We got him down. We didn't get the second head break. That's fine. You get a fucking evil eye anyway for just, beating him essentially. We did it. Me and these two other fine hunters managed to take down Fatalis against most of the odds, I would say. It didn't help that I died in the beginning. It didn't help that I died on the way to the second phase. I died before I even got there. And we even had it down in second phase, but all of us worked together enough where we managed to get this done. And that's what it's all about. Never give up. Always keep getting up and get in there and take them out. That's what it's all about. Get yourself some nice rewards like I did here. And, a little bit of money, a little bit of ranks. That's all you need. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. I want to do some more Monster Hunter World content later on, so if you like that, stick around.